I really want to talk about citrine because I think people don't know that it's actually a really rare stone. I've only ever gotten it, the real citrine, in Brazil. And when I started, 20 years ago, I started buying crystals and I started in the flea market. I loved to buy citrine. It was always way more expensive than the heated, but I could feel it. It felt so strong. And I had digestion issues and liver issues and stuff from emotions. So I loved wearing citrine. I loved holding it. I needed help with my will. I needed help with manifesting. And I probably had 4 citrine bracelets on all the time. And I had trouble finding natural citrine beads. So I would make them myself because 80% of what you see being sold as citrine, and it is accepted to be citrine, is heated amethyst. And the trouble with that is it didn't reach the temperature that the earth would naturally do. The difference between amethyst temperature, which was common, it's all volcanic activity, so the volcano gets to be so hot. And amethyst is the most typical color that comes out of quartz due to the temperature and the minerals present in that mountain that was a volcano. Natural citrine, the earth does have to get very hot. I believe it's like 400 to 500 degrees. So from 400 to 500 degrees, the earth sets that citrine frequency, and it doesn't need the care that clear quartz and smoky quartz and rose quartz and amethyst need. And don't forget, jaspers and agates are also quartz. They're quartz with minerals in a certain way that have given them that name. But quartz is silica. It absorbs. It will always keep negative from you and absorb it, and then you will have to discharge it, charge it up. So there is responsibility with quartz, but real citrine, there's not. It is set frequency, very strong frequency. What gives it the color is iron, other minerals too, but iron especially elicits that yellow gold. And the darker it is, the stronger it is. And iron is your will. You've heard that all your life, iron will. Iron works with the solar plex and your divine will. There's also your egoic will. So we manifest in 2 ways. You can manifest through your ego and the things that you want, that you think would make you feel happier, or the things that you think represent your success in life. But then there's the divine will of your path and what you actually came here for, and manifesting that to be easier, because your path will always be what your soul and God chose to get you to bliss and joy here on earth, turn earth into heaven. I truly believe that crystals can help with that. They are more 5th dimensional, and especially citrine, natural citrine. So most citrine was always found in Brazil, and it was very abundant. It was, of course, much more expensive. Pangea and how the continents were formed. You can see on the screen that Brazil and Africa were bumped right up against each other, and where all the good quartz is found is in Minas Gerais, which was a town of mining. Also keep in mind, they don't mine for crystals, they mine for something else, and crystals are the byproduct. So if you want to get mad at things that aren't ethically mined, crystals are mined when they're looking for copper, and copper we need for electricity. So the crystals are going to come out until you find other technologies. And now we have newer technologies that require lithium and cobalt. Same thing. You're going to dig up the earth and you're going to get that lithium and cobalt out because everybody wants that technology. But the crystals are still in there. They will still come out also, and they will be distributed through the channels they get distributed, and usually end up with people that collect or use them in healing or grids and like to shift energy. So I don't find anything wrong with where my crystals come from. Of course, I would love to mine them myself, and I do like finding miners, and then I know it's ethically mined. But majority, if you want citrine from the Congo, I promise they're not going to let you dig for it. These mining companies own the land, they own the mountains. It's going to be mined however they're mining. And if you look up Namibia, where there's the most mines, crystals aren't even on the list. At the top is uranium. They literally are the leader in uranium for nuclear power. So I don't like that. But while they're down there, they're going to pull up all these wonderful crystals, and citrine is one that's being pulled out of Africa. It is the same mountain base that was attached to Brazil. It has the nicest golden, strong coloring to it. They're also super abundant with all the babies that grow along it. Congo citrine are beautiful. They usually have a lot of crystals coming off of them. We call them like candle quartz. But the reason it is the best stone for manifesting is to manifest, you have to involve 2 chakras. All your chakras are really important to manifesting, but the 2 that play the biggest part are your solar plex, which is your stomach, and your will, your gut instincts. Your will is so important. That's what's going to make you go forward in your path. And then your sacral, your sexual chakra that you create with, and you don't just create babies, you create thoughts, ideas. It's your creative center that you come up with desires and you bring them into the physical. So those 2 chakras are very activated by this deep gold citrine, and I am talking about real citrine. So I'm advocating for Congo citrine right now because it's affordable. It's affordable and it works as well as Brazilian. It definitely has that color. It was heated by the earth. The way I can tell the difference is when you heat it, amethyst to be citrine, you'll see white, and then you'll see yellow, and then you'll see the gold, and then you'll see like almost a brown where it's kind of burnt. So you see like stages of how the fast heating happened. And I can spot it a mile away, where natural citrine has a steady color throughout. It just feels, I can feel it. But if you can't feel it and you're just looking, I truly believe, find good sources. Find people you trust if that's important to you to have the real. China certainly is coming out with, you can buy a giant point of citrine and it looks absolutely beautiful. I think it looks a little too lemony to be real. Doesn't have that gold tone. It has a little more of a lemon look to it. There is such a thing as lemon citrine. It is super rare, but I'm finding a lot of it coming out looking just a little too lemony, that come from China. And I love China. China has beautiful stones. They really do. They have a lot of real stones. You just have to figure out what they're making and what they're not making. And they're mass producing the popular stones, and they're mixing it in with real and not real. And I'm going to say everything is real. They're mixing it in with created. I guess lab and created is the better word. And since I'm not privy to the process or anything, they do a wonderful job. Rose quartz actually looks better than Brazilian rose quartz. Brazilian rose quartz is very milky and a lot of times opaque. You can't see through it, where what they're creating is very beautiful and very clear. And it does have manganese in it. Manganese is what creates the love. That's the mineral that holds love, and we need that in our body. It's one of our minerals that we need. So just you discern, find people you trust. To go back to citrine, I do believe it's full of iron. That's what gives it its natural frequency of will. Okay, the other thing is that a lot of us have blocks when it comes to manifesting, and citrine is strong enough to actually remove energy blocks from those 2 chakras. So I do think if you work with it, you can get rid of programming of lack. We've all been programmed with lack through the programming on the television and things, through our parents, how they treated money and thought about money. That definitely gets passed down. So open your mind, open your path to manifest through your divine will, through the path of love with Citrine. And its message will always be, when you align yourself with your divine will, you will manifest that which is for your highest good. And that will always bring you to the frequency and emotion which is the highest for our human bodies, is bliss and joy. And go out there and get yourself some Citrine, but make sure it's natural. We all tend to put the word natural in front of it so that you can tell, and it is perfectly okay to call it just Citrine if it's heated. Most jewelry is heated. I do sell a lot on my website that is natural, and I will always use the word natural, and you can always write me and ask specifically what this is and where I got it. If I don't tell you, I try to tell you in the photo all its stats, but just go to yourcrystalshop.com if you want to see our products. I appreciate it. Thanks.